Welcome to How We Grow, an essential playbook to grow and scale your vacation rental business with advice and insights from the best in the biz, with your host, Lynell Gordon. Welcome to How We Grow, the Vacation Rental Show. This is a really unusual vacation rental show that we're doing here because normally I'm interviewing property managers, but today I'm not. Today I'm actually talking to a vendor. I'm talking to Francois Gouelo. And Francois, tell me a little bit about your company and what you guys do.
100%. So my name is Francois. I'm one of the co-founders of Enso Connect. We are a guest experience platform that helps you digitize and monetize your guest experience. In short, this means a AI-powered unified messaging system and a guest web app that's going to navigate your guests through all of their journey from verification to data collection to upsells, check-in, guidebooks, and more, but with your rules, your settings, and your configurations.
Okay, so that's one of the reasons that I wanted to talk to you. I'm very interested in how we're using AI in our industry, and I'm very interested in how property managers can use this technology. So give me more detail. Tell me what that means.
I think, AI is a big buzzword these days. A lot of people are talking about artificial intelligence, whether it's, with language models, vision, computer vision, or more. I think the overall rise of ChatGPT is kind of clear as to how tech companies need to adopt this type of technology in their day-to-day. So at Enso Connect, what we've done, for example, is we've actually indexed all of the information that's provided by your property management system, as well as more information that we collect from a product called the Boarding Pass, which is this web app that I was mentioning earlier on. And we're using all of this information so that every time a guest asks a question, that information, that response is somewhere in those systems, but you don't need to do any of the guesswork. We're going to replace that, and we're just going to surface out the response for you. So I think the way I see the advancements with AI coming in for hospitality is connecting the dots. Connecting all of these different tools that operators might be using and making it easier to surface information that's necessary to delight your guests.
All right, so you're taking all of the information about the guest. So this is all the guest information. And the questions they've asked, how do we know that? Are we looking in the property management system for that? Are we trailing it with email? How are we doing that?
We're going to look at it all. We're going to look at it all, and we're going to continuously ask questions. So I'll give you an example. When I said we were a very configurable guest experience platform, what I mean by that is we have this logic in our system of if this, then that. And you can configure every single stage of your guest journey using that sort of if this, then that logic. So for example, you can say, well, if it's a Booking.com reservation, I want to make sure I check the IDs. And if it's an Airbnb reservation, it's fine, we can skip the IDs. But if it's a last minute reservation on Airbnb, I want to collect the safety deposit and then I'll release the check-in instructions. This is what makes vacation rental management so unique and so difficult in general to scale, to grow, because
Absolutely.
You're not managing, one big hotel property where it's all the same, and doesn't matter if you booked yesterday, today, or in 2 hours, it's all going to be the same. You're managing all these different stakeholders, your guests, your owners, your homes, and so on. So the way we would index information, and the way I think the advancements in AI are proving to be extremely useful, is for the AI to actually ask all those questions before providing a response to the guest. Well, is it a last minute reservation? Because if it is, then I know that we need to respond slightly differently. If it is a last minute reservation and it's Booking.com and the guest still hasn't paid, then we have to do slightly different type of response. So it's really understanding not just here's some information about my property and become a chatbot for me. It's here's my guest experience and help me navigate those responses that I need to provide at scale.
So these responses that we're talking about, so this whole thing, this is all wrapped around the guest experience, correct?
Correct. That's
Okay.
why we plug into property management systems like Streamline and obviously anything that's part of the Inhabit group.
Tell me how that looks on the practical side. So are we looking at a chat program? Are we looking at an email system, automated? What are we looking at here?
Love it. Even better, a unified messaging system, text, email, WhatsApp, Airbnb message, all in one place, available on your phone via mobile app, available on your computer for your teams. And when I say unified, I mean, you're not creating multiple message threads every time, you have an email with a guest, and then you have an SMS with that same guest. It's all in one single flow. So you can send an email and then send them an SMS and then maybe send them an Airbnb message and respond, but see that guest profile in one place.
So all of that information is being stored in one place so that when somebody wants to know the communication they've had with a guest, whether it's been by text, whether it's been by email, whether it's been by SMS, or whether it's by WhatsApp, it's all going to be in one place?
All in one place, correct. It just makes things easier. As I speak to a lot of property managers, they're like, well, I use Gmail and I respond. I go to Gmail for those kinds of guests, and then I go to Airbnb app and I respond there. Maybe I go and Streamline and respond to those guests who come from these channels. So it's just kind of fragmented. And the problem with that is next time that guest comes to book with you, you are never going to be able to find that information quickly. And you're not necessarily going to put in the effort to find that information, that past communication. So by centralizing that guest information, the data, but also the communication, we then get to create a profile or a persona on that guest. So it means responding to them quicker. It means alleviating your team with those types of responses where they don't need to dig in and figure out what information they need to provide. It's all out there, whether it's in your property management system, in your guidebooks, in your payment systems, in our guest experience platform, wherever it is, it's all over the place. So we're just going to figure out where information is and help you craft that best response automatically.
Vacation rental managers utilize LiveRes and their powerful software that goes beyond the standard. LiveRes empowers you to operate your business the way you want, while offering you powerful support and access to a community of partners and experts to grow your vacation rental business. LiveRes' industry differentiator is software plus support, community, and service, with high converting websites included to get you started. Learn more at liveres.com.
So are we talking about automated responses? Like you're saying, if then else, then you're saying if they ask this, then and this is the situation, then this is how to respond.
So this is the difference between a basic if this then that and ChatGPT. If this then that is simple. It's going to be if the booking is confirmed, send a welcome message. If it's check-in time, send the check-in instructions, things like that. ChatGPT is going to understand the actual context of the conversation. So if it's check-in time, send the check-in message. But what happens if the check-in time changed? That's where the context of that particular message is going to change. Now, we didn't develop it currently as a pure chatbot where we just respond to your guests for you. And the reason why is because when we ran a survey to a lot of property managers, they didn't necessarily feel comfortable with the idea of this, random system going out and answering all of their guests, especially if it starts to make a mistake. So in doing that, what it does is the guest responds to your questions. You click on the little button that says Enso AI, and we will draft you the response. You can then edit it, you can send it, and you can decide as to whether or not it's the right fit. We've been working on this for quite a bit of time to make sure that it's as accurate as possible. And the reason is our version of an upsell is to prove to our clients that every time they click that button, we get it right. And eventually we'll allow you to create conditions to say, well, you know what? If it's 8 p.m., between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m., you go ahead and respond to my questions. I don't want to have a night staff, and it's just too costly for my business. So we're gradually getting to that stage of comfort, I think, with property managers where we're going to respond to those questions. But for now, it's more suggesting the most accurate information response for your guests. Hope that makes sense.
It does make sense. I understand what you're saying. So it's going to draft a response for me or for my reservationist or for whoever's checking that. So it will save time and it will also not forget information. See, here's the cool thing. I don't know, like as a reservationist or someone that may be drafting that response, we may forget something. We may not realize that, not only is it a last minute reservation, but it's a last minute Airbnb and they haven't paid their, we haven't looked to see, and, maybe they haven't paid their balance. So it's going to look at all that and suggest a response from there.
Exactly. And on top of that, since one of our core products is this thing called the boarding pass, it's a very configurable web app that does upsells, it does verification. What we learned from that was there were a lot of stages of the guest journey that are different based on different channels, different guests, et cetera, et cetera. So for example, guest purchases an early check-in, which is one of the coolest upsells out there. Just as a little heads up, 1 in 3 guests will purchase an early check-in if properly presented. We have this whole graphic that we share about it. Well, if they do, that means their check-in time changed. So if the guest then asks you a question of, hey, when is my check-in time again? Your reservationist is probably just going to go by what's traditional in the business. Well, it's 4 p.m. They might not remember that the guest has actually purchased an early check-in, so their check-in time has changed. So this is, again, where having all of this information in different places, AI is just connecting those dots together in a way where you don't forget, you save time, and you effectively treat more reservations quickly, thereby making more money.
Okay. So when you reply to a guest that's SMS, does it automatically SMS them back? Or if an email, does it automatically email them back? Or is that just in the setup?
It's all in the setup. You can set it up the way
Okay.
you want. Like we're really like, I'd say, or I have it actually on my whiteboard here: connect, personalize, monetize. Those are kind of the three driving words behind what we've built. Is connect the tools you have, personalize it or configure it the way you need it for your business, and then let it monetize further your guests for you.
Okay, well, I'm intrigued. I am. This is like I think that our company wrote one of the first if then else kind of conditional pieces for communicating with a guest. So I love where you've taken this. I think it's beautiful. And if you want to know more about this product, guys, you should reach out to Francois personally. Or how should they, actually, you tell me, how should they, if they want to know more?
Always available for reach outs from clients. I mean, my email is firstname.lastname@ensoconnect.com. We're trying to make our website as
How do you spell Enso?
Sorry, good point. ENSO Connect, CONNECT. You can also go to ensoconnect.com and check out our website. And we're constantly trying to make everything more accessible for everyone. So pricing is available on that website. We're going to be launching a video demo on the website. Like, it's all about you making the research and letting us know if this is the right fit for your business. And if it is, we'll jump on a call and share more.
I just want everybody to know, look, this is not an infomercial. People are not paying me to come and do commercials. I'm intrigued by some of the technology that's out there. And Francois happens to have one of those technologies that I'm just like, that sounds like that could actually save time and make money for people. So I'm interested in hearing more about it. So thank you for coming and sharing. I'm really grateful.
Thank you so much for having me.
This episode of How We Grow is brought to you by LiveRez. To find out more about how LiveRez can help grow your vacation rental business, visit liverez.com. Make sure to search for How We Grow in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, or anywhere else podcasts are found, and hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. On behalf of the team here at Inhabit, thanks for listening.